I just sat here and was just holding my breath, just trying not to talk,
That would have
trying
been
to do
a fun
anything.
interview.
I'm going, Ella, it's 7:30 in the morning.
Jeez.
Did we get you out of bed?
You did get me out of bed. I was in the studio till quite late last night, recording and finishing stuff for the album. But
right.
I think I need to get like an alarm out of one of those films or something where there's literally like 7 going off in different parts of the bedroom. So then you cannot sleep in and you cannot, yeah.
And one of those ones that doesn't have snooze.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. I mean, today I didn't hear anything go off. So there wasn't even a snooze button today.
I'm kind of glad you were late because just before you came on when we were waiting for you, like, uh-oh, I've got the hiccups. I can't have the hiccups while I'm doing this. So I've been trying to hold the breath. I've been trying all different kinds of things.
How did you get rid of them?
I just sat here and was just holding my breath, just trying not to talk,
that would have
trying
been
to do
a fun
anything.
Interview.
I'm going, just trying to stop them.
Long awkward pauses and not me realizing you're actually just getting rid of your hiccups.
Yeah. But look, they are, well, so far they're gone. So thank goodness that they're gone.
Okay.
Yeah. Hey, let's talk some music and we'll talk new album. Just something funny. I was in the office today and I was saying to the girls, I'm chatting with you a bit later on in the day because it's 4:30 over here at the moment. And one of the girls says, Ella, I love her. And it was so rigged she didn't win the X Factor.
I know. Still people get mad about it.
I know, and it does happen quite often that, I mean, because there was that thing of, it was rigged, she should have won. I mean, even now after all this time.
I know it is a bit mad, but and it's so crazy to think. I think it's coming up nearly 9 years now since I did the show, which is crazy. Like, I don't know where that time's flown by. I feel like Benjamin Button, the girl that's never grown up. I still, every time I'm in a studio, everyone's like, "How are you only 25?" And I'm like, "I don't know." It's been a crazy journey, and so much has happened through it, and I'm just so glad to be back again and feel like, I'm kind of coming back now as a young woman. I think before I took on the industry as a young girl, so like just going away and having some time to figure everything out really, and not even in my music, I'm talking about just as growing up, transition from a teenager into being a young woman without the hormones is absolutely terrifying. So I think I needed to take a little bit of time for me to do all of that. And but no, I feel like I'm excited and I feel ready to just share my story, open up to fans more. And I think the place I'm in, like mentally now, is one that I'm prepared to take on everything that comes with the music industry.
Did you feel that you couldn't go on with music and that kind of level because of where you were being so young, and you had to, for yourself, get through those going from a girl to a young woman? You just couldn't get into the music because of that?
Yeah, kind of. I think there's a mixture of all sorts, really. I think the fundamental thing, though, is if you aren't mentally and physically prepared for what this industry has around it and what's in store for you. I mean, for me, it was quite a wild journey. It's not normal for your first single to kind of literally jet set you across the globe, quite literally, at the age of 18. And I was just so grateful and thankful of that. And I look at it now and I think, wow, the incredible experiences, like, literally that song, that song I have to thank for literally being able to come over to Australia.
Right.
And I was over there quite a few times, and it was a very special time. And I think when you come out of this crazy whirlwind and you have a lot of success at a young age, there's a lot of stepping stones that you've missed out on. For instance, when I landed off a plane, I think I was out of the country for probably like 350 days of those 365 days of the year. So coming back home, I felt like I never had a home. London never felt like home to me. I'm a northern girl in England, so I wanted to just revert back to my family, and I knew I couldn't really do that because work was here. So I had just like life things to figure out. I needed to find where I could settle, get my TV, a sofa, do the kind of normal things that you do when you first like buy your first place or like live in your first place. And for me, that happened a lot further on in my life than anticipated. So I'm glad I took a bit of time for me, because I think if you feel that way, you should. Luckily, I had a great team around me that supported that, and it was never. I feel like with me, there's never been an issue with rushing to get music out. I think because I love music so much, and I'm always going to write. For me, I've always had it in my head, even before X Factor, I had it in my head where, I imagine by the time I'm 25, 26, that's when I'll probably release my first record. So to have done it at 18, I kind of felt like I did some kind of crazy leap and some head start, which is amazing, because the experience I've had is incredible.
Yeah, amazing. Let's talk about this brand new single, Let's Go Home Together. I've got a couple of things on it.
Even though you're told way too fast, I can't stop looking at your eyes. Heads done every time.
Looking at the single cover, it's you and Tom drinking with the title of the song, Let's Go Home Together. Are we talking party days in this song? Wild nights, party days. Come on, let's just go home together.
The days we all miss, and the days that I have to return at some point. No, that's exactly it. I think I always had a vision for this record being like the modern day Fairy Tale of New York, the Pogues. And I just wanted to kind of create that atmosphere where we're back in a pub, a bar, you're back with your mates, you've got your hand around their shoulder, the last orders are in at the bar, and this is the song that comes on and you sing, and you might have found someone that you checked out all night, and that's it. And I just think this, especially when I speak to my friends and, all sorts of stories that have gone on in lockdown with relationships going well, relationships breaking up. And I think at the end of it all, we're just saying how much we miss each other, me and my friendship group. And we cannot wait to have that, a sesh back in the pub where we can just all hug one another and not feel like we have to be, a million miles apart. And I think if we could have visually just remind people of what's to come and embrace what's to come, I think that's kind of the incentive of the video.
Is that all happening for you guys over there at the moment? Like the pubs are starting to open up again?
They are open outside. So
right, okay.
I think everyone's literally got every single layer of clothing on, and it doesn't matter how cold you are, even if you're freezing your tits off, you get to the pub.
Yes. Something very interesting with this song, Tom Grennan, one of my favorite artists at the moment. But you wrote it with James Arthur, and I've seen a performance of you with James Arthur. Interesting question. Why did you do it with Tom and not James if you wrote it with James?
So James and I wrote this song, I think nearly 4 years ago now.
Oh, wow.
And we did perform. Yeah, we've had this song a while. We wrote it just before he did a UK arena tour here, and I joined him on the tour. We did a tour together, and we wrote the song just before we went on tour. So it was like, let's just perform it and see how it goes down with the fans. And by the third night, there was everyone was singing along, because the same fans would come back to the same gig and they just travel around the country.
Right.
And by the third night, they knew the lyrics off by heart, and everyone was singing along. So it was like, okay, there's something in this song. And we both knew it was special from the moment we wrote it. And it was funny when I think back to the day we wrote it. I think we wrote the chorus quite quickly. And then for the verses, we had a melody, but we both sat across the room and was like, okay, you shut up, I'll shut up. And I'm just going to take the piss out of you, and you're going to go take the piss out of me. And that's kind of how the verses came about, hence why I talk about his crappy tattoos, and he talked about how I don't shut up. And we're like a little dysfunctional brother and sister, James and I. He's like the quite the introverted big brother, and then I'm like the little loud northern sister. But we're both from the same neck of the woods, and we both get on. And it was just, we both wanted to put this record out, but it was always a case of timing, and our timing and our schedules always collided. And when it came to this year, this was a song that I knew previously last year that I wanted to bring this year. I would have loved to have done it with James, but at the time it kind of went that way, and we had the open chat of, okay, well, are we open to getting someone else on it? And I was like, we can't just put anyone on this record. It has to be someone that fits the bill. They need to, first of all, they need to have bad tattoos. They need to be a pub goer. They need to have all of those characteristics. And immediately I just thought of Mr. Tom Grennan.
Wow. Outstanding. Well, the new single, it is out right now. Looking forward to the new album too. Just quickly before we let you go, when are we expecting the album?
The album is coming later this year.
Love it.
We're kind of looking around like autumn time for it to be released, and some singles. I'll wait for people to hear this. It's going to be like verbal diarrhea coming out of my mouth on this record, but like lyric diarrhea. But there's a lot to say, and there's a lot of time where I've taken some time away. So I think like my fans and maybe people that haven't heard me are ready to hear what I've been up to. So I'm excited.
Excellent. Outstanding. Well, Ella Henderson, thanks so much for joining us on the show. We can't wait for the album. The new single is out right now. Ella Henderson, thanks so much.
Thank you. Thanks so much. Thanks for taking the time. I appreciate it.